So welcome everybody to, welcome everybody to today's talk, which is the third Green Shakti talk with Dr. Janani, Medicine of the Sages. So the topic today is medicine is food, food is medicine. Or the other way around, food is medicine, medicine is food.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. So, Dr. Janani is a doctor in Siddha Medicine, and she is the doctor in Siddha Medicine at the Sri Narayani Holistic Centre, which is in Tamil Nadu in South India. Can you just explain a little bit, just before we start, what is the difference between Siddha Medicine and Ayurvedic medicine?
Actually, Siddha, the word Siddha means perfection, enlightened. So Siddha medicine origin is from South India, that is especially in the Tamil Nadu. So Siddha means, Siddha medicine is for the spiritual enlightenment. For the spiritual enlightenment, we need a healthy body, mind and soul. So for that, this system of medicine developed. So that's why it's differ from rest of all the systems of medicine in the world. When Ayurveda, when it considered Ayurveda or homeopathy or Western medicine, it treats the body, maybe it treats the mind, but not for that treats for the soul. So that's why it's differ from all the medicines. And this system of medicine was developed by the Siddhas. Siddhas are the clarified intellect and heightened intuition persons. They are spiritually enlightened persons. So they want other persons also to get enlightened, to get rid of this Maya of this world, and their spirit, their soul to get enlightened. So they developed this system of medicine. So the perfection of the body, mind and soul. Union of the body, mind and soul.
So when did the Siddhas exist?
So they exist when the continent, there is a Lemuria continent in the ancient days, which unites Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, parts of Africa, parts of Australia. So there is a continent called Lemuria continent, which exists in the olden days. From there, the Siddha system of medicine started to exist. And it was written in an ancient language, that is Tamil.
Yeah, fantastic, thank you. And can you tell us, because we're going to be talking a lot about prana, P-R-A-N-A, prana. What is prana?
P-R-A-N-A. Prana is the vital energy. It is the life energy. It is the energy that exists within us. It keeps us alive. It keeps us to enlighten. So those who have a good pranic energy, they can feel themselves very happy, very energetic. So that's why food is really important. Food is medicine, medicine is food, because which craves the prana, which keeps the prana alive, because food keeps us everything.
Okay. And so when looking into prana, we have three kinds of foods. What sort of foods are these foods?
Yeah. Food. Why food is really very important? Because the food we eat describes who we really are. It doesn't matter it not only depends upon what you eat, but how you select the food, how you cook the food, how you eat the food. The way of eating, the way of cooking, the way of selection of foods, three matters.
So it's a bit like you're doing puja. When Amma talks about doing puja with you, when you're cooking, it's the same energy.
Yes. Right? That's what important. As you asked, there are three kinds of foods. That is positive pranic foods. Positive pranic foods are those foods which increases your vital energy or the prana, that life energy within you.
Okay, so that's pranic food.
Positive pranic
food. That's the
neutral pranic food is that doesn't make any difference. That doesn't increase your life energy, but neither decrease. It's not harmful.
Okay.
So there are negative pranic foods, which definitely decreases your life energy, vital energy. You would have been seen in different days of when some foods, if you take, you would be feeling, oh, I don't want to do any work. You just sleep and you have a very bad mood when you take some foods. When you take some foods, you feel really, I have lots of energy to do this work. When you need some food, it doesn't make any difference. You would have been seen in your life. So there are three kinds of foods, negative, positive and neutral.
Okay. So before we actually go into the details of the pranic foods, can we look at why being a vegetarian is so important in Siddha medicine?
Yes, of course. Very good question. Actually, as I said, being a vegetarian is really very, very important. because vegetarian foods, all these foods, for example, if you take a fruits, if you take a vegetable, if you take nuts, if you take a seeds, everything contains positive energy, that is white energy within it. Take a mango seed. If you take a mango seed, if you take a mango, when you put a mango like in somewhat in the forest, it contains the life energy within it because it grows into another tree. If you take any seed, if you eat it, if it contains a life energy, but if you throw back the seed also, it grows back into a another creature. It has creature that gives to another creature. That's why vegetarians is considered to be the topmost level.
Mm-hmm.
Why non-vegetarian is not recommended since ancient days? Why priests will not eat non-vegetarian? Because the red meat, if we eat red meat, when we kill the animal, when the moment it killed, that has emotions, fear, pain, lots of sadness within it. So if we eat, we do carry that kinds of emotion that is decreasing your vital energy. For example, in a room, just to throw a piece, a cup of vegetables in one corner, a cup of red meat in one corner, egg opened broken egg in one corner, which will get first rotten. The meat, red meat and egg will get spoiled. Smell will come.
Mm-hmm.
And vegetables, if you take 2-3 days also, it will not decompose. It will not produce any smell. It will produce, but it will take time to decompose. That's why our stomach is not meant for digest very fastly. Our stomach take times to digest. If the red meat stays in the stomach for a long time, it will produce, it decomposes and produces lots of acids, which is not good for our health. Because as animals do possess acid, but we do have gastric juice to digest. Because
so we do or we don't have?
We do have gastric juices, but the lion, the animals which eat fresh meat have acid to secrete meat immediately. So that if a lion eats a goat, it will digest very easily because acid secretes in the stomach. But we have gastric juices. We can't digest that much. Nature itself given our digestive system in such a way to digest vegetarian food. We don't have canine teeth, which animals have.
No, we don't.
That's true. So that's why this is the importance of taking positive pranic foods,
right?
Because it really impacts on our nature, our character, our emotions.
And also, just for the viewers, when you're talking about non-veg food, that actually means non-vegetarian food,
Yes.
which means meat.
Yes,
meat,
basically red meat.
Okay. And so going into the next section before we get into the actual foods, you are going to explain Guna, G-U-N-A. What is a Guna exactly?
Guna means characters, we can say characters. In the whole, like Siddhas have classified human beings into 3 types of characters. That is Sathuva Guna, Rajo Guna. Sathuva means S-A-T-H-V-A. Sathuva. Sathuva Guna means, we can take Amma, all the Siddhas, all the priests. Sathuva Guna people love everybody. They will be in peace all the time. They eat the positive pranic foods. They will be only vegetarian and they will be in complete state of bliss, happiness. They will not harm to people. They love each other. They will help each other. Like that kind of people are considered to be Sathuva Gunas. Those kind of people will eat fruits, vegetables, milk, ghee, and all kinds of nuts, seeds, cereals, legumes, rice, like all kinds of cereals, pulses. So these kind of people will eat these kind of foods. Or else when people eat these kind of foods, they will become the Sathuva Gunas. So, along with when they practice some meditation all these times. So vice versa.
So you're saying so Sathuva Gunas or Sattvic is also another word?
Sattvic. You can say it in Sattvic Gunas.
So they are people who are on the spiritual path and they are there to serve others.
They serve. They will be in love. Like we love most of the time. They will be in loving each other. Unconditional love. We called it that. They are called Sathuva Gunas.
Okay.
And then next comes the Rajo Gunas.
So Rajo, how do you spell Rajo?
Rajo, R-A-J-O, Rajo. Rajo Gunas. It is normal human beings. We do have emotions. Sometimes we will get anger. Sometimes we will get frustration. Sometimes we will broke down. Sometimes we will cry. Sometimes we will shout. So all kind of mixed feelings. So that is called Rajogunas. Rajogunas people do eat what like kind of foods, spicy foods, red chilies.
Just saying before you go into the actual what they eat, and there are also people who have more of a normal
life. Yeah, they have a good job. They'll settle down. They will more on money, like kids, family. But they have all kinds of emotions, struggling with life. They want to become the Sathuva Guna. Either there is a line between the Rajoguna. If they improve their life, they will move to the Sathuva Guna. If they don't improve their life, they'll fall to the next down. So normal persons.
Yes. Okay, so we call it the middle of the road.
Yeah, they eat more spicy foods, red chilies, like lots of spicy foods, like along with cereals, pulses, we do eat lots of salty nuts, deeply fried foods, cookies, pasta, everything comes under Rajogunas.
And pizza too, right?
Pizza comes under Tamoguna, I think.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Tamoguna.
Oh, I thought it was
like lots of foods, which is like lots of spices in their food. They do overeat. Sattva Gunas, they always eat half stomach sometimes. But Rajoguna, they overeat, they go do parties, they enjoy the life, and they have all kinds of emotions in a higher level.
Okay.
They love when they need to love to be more. When they hurt, they get hurted. They will talk gossip. They will like everything mixed. All like normal human beings are called Rajogunas. But when they do Sattva Gunas or the people, they realized the soul is like they will be aware of their soul and they know the soul is the utmost everything. But Rajogunas people don't do know the difference between the body and the soul, but they are not aware of most of the time.
Okay. So we have Sathuva Guna, Rajoguna, and then what's the one below that?
Below that is Tamo, T-A-M-O, Tamo Gunas. So Tamo Gunas people are those who are really very, very bad, doing some illegal things like making bad things to other, robbery,
mm-hmm.
like speaking abusive words of other, taking drugs, drinking alcohol, like the very low people that who are not aware, they don't know the differentiate between the mind and the soul also. They think the body is everything. Mm-hmm. They obey the body. If the body wants to have sex, they will like everything they obey. What the body needs, they'll do. Every time they drink alcohol, they do have drugs harmful to another person. That is called Tamoguna. Tamoguna people are those who eat processed foods and all kinds of, like as I said, alcohol, leftovers, red meat. So all kind of foods which is really unhealthy.
Okay.
Deeply fried foods, like the food which is cooked 2 days ago, they eat. So this kind of foods which give your mind, the body become more alive than the soul. Soul will not come up. Body will come up all the time. So you will feed body what your body needs. Okay. So that is Tamoguna. Why this? I'm differentiating this kind of gunas are, the food you eat describes the character of the gunas who you really are. So if we eat this kind of foods, our character will become more alive. So that's why food is really very important. You can practically apply to this life. One day you can see eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, cereals, pulses, everything, and see how the day goes. For 3 days you can do this thing. 3 days you can try eating all the pastas, pizzas, and all the whatever things like processed foods. See how the day goes. If you aren't taking an alcohol, taking all this unhealthy foods, processed leftovers foods, see how the day goes. You can easily feel the difference, how your life energy is improving with that naturally taking foods. You would have been seen, many people would have been noticed.
So you can have a Sattvic day or Rajo day or a Tamos day.
Yeah, of course.
So then you were talking about, so just summarizing, so the Sattvic food is nuts, fruits, seeds,
vegetables
and
fruits.
Pulses. Yeah. So anything that basically can grow into another plant.
Yeah.
So
which contains life energy within it.
Anything with life force.
Cereals, pulses, when you take cereals, when you take pulses, that grows into another thing. Fruits, it contains the vital energy. If you take a tomato and you throw a tomato something, it grows into another plant.
Right. And so that's all food that has life force in its seeds and can actually grow into something else, which will give us the good pranic energy.
Yes.
Then if we go into the Rajo, so the middle of the road, we're looking at spicy food, pasta.
And overeating.
Pizza and overeating.
Not exercising, overeating.
Okay.
Like chilies, salty, everything in overdose.
Okay. And then if you're looking at Tamo, you're looking at more as meat eaters.
Alcohol, drugs,
white flour, you were saying, white sugar.
Those processed foods, processed foods.
Okay. And another thing you was just mentioning about meat eating, I'm not trying to like hit the idea of vegetarianism, but it is something that is so important within Siddha medicine.
Yes.
It's like it's like really the basic thing. The idea of eat the cow.
Why it is in South Indian medicine, in Siddha medicine, or the South Indian, in our religion, bans eating beef and pork is like the red meat, which is really harmful to our heart, and also it do produces certain diseases. But other thing is, the cow is worshipped as a god. If you have one cow, your family will be flourished. Cow gives you milk, it feeds your child. In your family, in your generation, somebody would have been lived because of cow. If I take my grandfather, they lived because of the cow, because we have lots of cows. My mother, like, they grown up because of the cow. So we should not kill something and eat that is really like helping the human beings to support. That's why.
Mm-hmm. And you was also mentioning the issue of alcohol, which in the Tamo level, so that it brings you into a trance state. It's used more as a tranquilizer. Why is that such a bad thing?
Because when you put alcohol in it, you are in a tranquilized, but it may reduce your stress, but you will feel your tranquilized state. But at that stage, your vital energy is getting very low, but you don't realize your power of, like, what is your mind, body and soul power is that. So it will tranquilize into your lower energy level. It will put in a blind stage that you don't know who you really are. In that stage, you will produce. But when you are in the sattvic stage, you will be in a tranquilized period. At that period, your soul will be connected to the divine thing and you will be enlightened. That is also a tranquilized state, but that's different from this state. So people do take drugs and alcohol because they want to be happy. But we can be happy without these things when we have a sattvic practice, which is a high in things.
So let's go into the food then.
Yes, yeah. So we talked about positive pranic foods, many things. What are all the positive pranic foods? So honey, as I said many times, many people know, honey stands first in the positive pranic food. If you take in the honey, its consistency is like very thick in consistency. It is like our blood. So it is like nectar, amrit. We call this as amrit. It is a nectar, and it is like in Siddha medicine, honey is mixed with all kinds of medicine. It acts as an adjuvant. If you take some churan, then you mix it with the honey and take. Honey balances vata, pitta and kapha. Honey is good for child to hold people. So it prevents aging. It is rich in antioxidants, which prevents cancer and which prevents aging. And it has an effect to reduce the autoimmune response. It reduces autoimmunity. So as it maintains three doshas, honey is really a wonderful medicine. Honey should always taken with lukewarm water.
And it's also very good for your complexion.
Yes,
too.
of course. It gives you a glow skin. It doesn't make you fat, but improves your complexion.
Okay, so we have honey, which is the most important positive pranic food. Yes. The next one is lemon.
Lemon, yes. Next one comes under lemon. Everybody knows lemon is citric acid, vitamin C. But have you noticed in India, people will take lemon to take away the negative energy. Somebody would have been noticed when you dressed up very nicely and when you go out, you would have been fallen sick that day. Because many people will see negative, oh, she's looking so good. How come? That negative energy will impact you. So that's why in India, when we dressed very nicely, when we dressed up for the bride, they will take a lime and then show up like this. So it takes away all the negative energy. Then we go out, you will not be attracted by the negative energy. So lemon itself takes away all the negative, and when you take inside, it detoxifies your body. It removes the negative energy and it maintains cholesterol, and it is very good for your immune system, and it prevents cancer as well. That's why lemon is really important. You can take lemon in the form of mixed with hot water, mixed with lime, like added with honey, or else lemon can be added as a some dressing for anything, or you can take lime juice, whatever form, pickle, whatever form.
Okay. So honey and lemon, and honey, of course, is not with hot water, but always with lukewarm water.
Lukewarm, yeah. You can take with lime juice with cold water as well. It depends upon the season.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And so the next one is coconuts.
Yeah. Next comes coconut. So you would have been seeing all the pujas. Coconuts represents an important part. It represents our soul. How our soul is. The white two ends represents our soul because it is so pure. And coconut is an excellent medicine. It really, people are telling coconut oil improves cholesterol, but actually doesn't. Coconut oil, if you cook with coconut oil, if you eat coconuts, it strengthens your heart. It really prevents skin and oral cancer. If you have oral ulcer, try this. If you take coconut milk for 3 days, your mouth ulcer will be healed.
Coconut milk?
Yes, coconut milk. And if you have any stomach cancer, stomach problems, stomach ulcer, try coconut milk. Coconut is excellent medicine.
And when else do you use coconut oil apart from cooking? Is there any other time?
Yeah, you can apply on your hair, you can apply on your skin. So that's why you don't need any what do you call? Some people will apply some things for hair spa. Nothing is needed.
Right.
No moisturizer is needed when you apply coconut oil and then take bath. So in India, that's why South India, everybody, no family will exist without coconuts and coconut oil. Honey, lemon, coconut is mandatory in each and every home. If you go in every home and just check it, these things will be there.
And it's interesting too because we always have coconut chutney
with
idli in the morning, right? So we're having
because we do pujas, we break out and then obviously we need to use that.
Right. The next part is nuts.
Yeah, nuts. As I said, nuts are the vital energy because it's nuts. And for example, if you take almonds, walnuts, cashews, chia seeds, groundnuts, all are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. It supports your immune brain, like it increases your memory, boosts your memory. It supports all the tadus, like it supports all your strength, like all your blood, skin, nourishments. It nourishes your body. So nuts is really general. It improves your vitality. And of course, it is a positive pranic food, which increases your vital energy within. So nuts, every day you need to take some kinds of nuts, almond, walnut, groundnuts, chia seeds. Groundnuts are excellent. Like if you, have you have any?
What is the ground nut?
Groundnut. Like
it's when it's ground.
Groundnut. Have you seen groundnut chutney here?
Like a peanut?
Peanuts.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, so, because they come from the ground, I guess, right?
We have cultivated groundnuts.
Yeah, okay. Peanuts.
So when the groundnuts is growing, rats will be there. When the groundnuts is seed, only 2 rats will be there. But when the groundnuts is grown up, we can see thousands of rats.
Right.
Because it increases the fertility rate, not only for the rats, for the human beings as well.
Okay.
So peanuts increases your fertility rate. Okay. It increases your semen. It increases your everything.
Okay, and also you've said that with almonds it's good to soak them and peel them. Why is that?
Because the skin contains some of the enzymes which is really inhibits the absorption of the almonds. So you need to soak it for 20 minutes and then take it and then eat. You can eat.
Next is pulses. So this is the 5th pranic positive food, pulses. Yeah. So we have honey, lemon, coconut, nuts, and pulses.
So you need to take pulses, right? Because it is the proteins which builds up your body.
So what are pulses exactly?
Pulses are we eat like all the mung beans, chickpeas, black lentils, and all these things are pulses. So the pulses are really needed because it is the proteins which increases your body, which builds up your body, which gives you strength, vital. Like these are all honey, lemon, coconut, which supports your immune system. But proteins gives you strength to work for your body, like everything. So bones needs to be strong, your muscles needs to be strong, and like it's all, so proteins are needed. So you need to take pulses. And also it is also, as I said, it is also a parasitic pranic food.
Okay. And why is it important to soak the pulses for 20 minutes before cooking?
Then only it is get easily digested and absorbed. It, like when you soak it, it takes less time to cook, and it is really very good for the absorption. When you don't do soaking, if you do it early, it is hard to digest.
And then the next one is
rice, rye, oat, wheat. You can take it, but rice should be taken in an unpolished thing, because polished rice, like unpolished rice has vitamin B1, that is called thiamine, which is really strengthens the nervous system.
So what is unpolished rice and polished rice? Exactly?
Polished rice means white rice. Okay. Unpolished rice is brown rice, because that brown thing, the coating of the rice outer contains vitamin B1, that is thiamine. So when we eat unpolished rice, like it nourishes our nervous systems. But when we eat polished rice, we are eating only carbs. There is no vitamin B1 in it. So it is really needed to take. It is really very good to take always unpolished rice. And in terms of wheat also, we need to prepare the wheat flour in our house. Then the whole wheats to be consumed. It contains proteins, carbohydrates, and fiber in a good proportion. And rye, oats, wheat, you can take in a minimal amount. Carbohydrates should always taken in a minimal amount.
And a minimal amount is like a few tablespoons.
Like 1 cup, 1 bowl of rice.
And what about porridge? Why is porridge so important in India?
Yeah, porridge, it's like when we eat porridge, like it contains rice porridge is there. And when the certain days we needs to be like we needs to give fasting. Certain days we need to purging. So porridge generally eases our digestive system. It doesn't put much effort on your digestive system. So it will gently eases. So we need to be fast on certain days, for example, monthly once or 15 days once. So sometimes we'll feel tired. We need to eat something. When we eat porridge, it doesn't put much effort on your digestive system, but it do supports our strength. That's why porridge is important.
Okay, the next positive food is vegetables.
Yeah, vegetables and fruits. Many people can't eat raw vegetables. In such cases, it is good to cook vegetables are good enough. If they are okay to eat raw carrots, beetroot, cabbage, then it's fine. But if people are not comfortable in eating raw vegetables, it is good to cook them and then eat. Half-boiled is good, but it doesn't need it when you need to half-boil. Cooked vegetables do have some good amounts of beneficiary. So each vegetable represents a color, that represents a planet, and that has some vital energy within it. So for example, if you take a brinjal that is like violet in color, and you can take brinjal one day, you can take orange color, carrot one day, you can take beetroots one day, that is pink in color. If you take greens in one day, so if you alternate each and every color or 2 colors of vegetables per day, it's more than enough. And green leafy vegetables are the one which actually increases your vital energy than nuts.
Or as much as nuts, or
than nuts.
Okay.
Actually, green leafy vegetables are rich in all vitamins and minerals and all this stuffs. So make sure you're eating green leafy vegetables weekly once or twice.
Okay. And what about fruits?
Fruits are highly pranic. You can eat all kinds of fruits. So fruits are really rich in all these stuffs, and no need to explain about it. Everybody knows. So like fruits are really rich in all, highly beneficial. So you can eat all amount of foods, but be careful, the food should not be ripened more. The more ripened fruits have high amount of glucose, so high amount of sugar. So do not eat too ripened foods. Banana, you can see sometimes banana is very ripe and you can have black spots, and you should not eat that one. That is too sugar.
So what about when you're making something like banana bread? Because we use very, very ripe bananas.
That's okay, but if you're 40, above 40s, then you should be careful then.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so what about, what's neutral pranic food?
Neutral pranic foods are tomatoes and potatoes, or the neutral pranic foods. They give you energy, but they doesn't increase your life energy, but doesn't decrease your life energy. But they are very good.
Okay.
That's two foods comes under neutral pranic foods. Tomatoes and potatoes.
Okay. And what's negative pranic?
Negative pranic foods, it comes under alcohol is a negative pranic food because it tranquilizes you, puts it in another state where you don't realize, like, that is a negative pranic food because it actually decreases your vital energy. Drugs, red meat and white sugar, white flour, all processed foods, ice cream, cookies, pizza, pasta and barota, that South Indian famous that is.
That's so sad.
Barota, yes.
So it means like croissants from France.
All processed and leftover foods. Remember, these foods really do decrease your negative energy in your body. That's why we should always be careful what you're eating, how you're eating, how you prepare the food. That also makes many difference.
Mm-hmm. So for example, so if you're eating, so you're saying white flour is a negative pranic food. So if you're making white bread, for example, I make bread a lot.
It is not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
So, but if I'm making bread with whole wheat flour,
that is good. That's what I'm saying. Always whole wheat, whole grains.
So is that a positive or a neutral?
Positive. Whole grains always positive.
Okay. So I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So next part is looking at the guidelines of a meal.
Yeah.
And then we'll go on to questions.
So as I said, and if somebody, when we wake up from the bed, we should not take coffee or tea when we immediately wake up from the bed, because our stomach is in a fasting for like 12 hours. When we wake up from the bed, if you put tea or coffee in your stomach, actually we are increasing the pH and it is acidity. It do produce some gastrointestinal problems. So we should not take coffee or tea in the empty stomach. So in the empty stomach, you need to drink 2 glasses of normal water or lukewarm water. Then after that, when you go for washroom and everything, when you want to take something, have some lukewarm water mixed with honey and pinch of lemon in it. And if you want to have some smoothies or juices like etc. For example, if a person is having lots of kidney problems, like kidney stones or hypertension, high cholesterol, like that, they can take coriander juice in an empty stomach, like 50 ml they can take.
So when you're saying coriander juice, is that literally a coriander you juice?
Yes, coriander juice.
And you just pure
you can add some amount of water in it, you can dilute in it, but if you can take it raw also, no problem.
Okay.
That is 50 ml you can take. Or if you want to lose weight, if your body is too hot, if you are having a burning sensation of urine, you can take bottle gourd juice. Okay. You can prepare a bottle gourd juice and then you can eat. And if you want to skip, if you want to diabetes, and if you want to, you can take bitter gourd juice.
Okay, so that's bitter gourd or bottle gourd.
Bottle gourd,
which is more, you would find that overseas, and you would find that more in Asian supermarkets. Yes.
So this kind of food you can take, like after that, breakfast should contain proteins in it. Okay, so that's why in South India, when we eat 2 idlis, we can have some 1 cup of dal, because sambar, which contains proteins, and also with coconut chutney we used to eat. It is because that is highly pranic. And along with the proteins, you need to take some nuts or seeds in the mid snack or along with the breakfast. Because zinc and vitamin C proteins usually increases your immune system. For corona also, they are giving vitamin C and zinc tablet proteins to cure the disease as well as to boost the immune system. So you need to take it in the breakfast. Proteins, vitamin C and zinc.
And how can you naturally take zinc?
Zinc is rich in milk and all the nuts. So if you take nuts, cashew, almonds, like all the groundnuts, like peanuts, everything contains rich in zinc.
So how many nuts would you need to take?
10 you can take. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then for morning tea, what's a great idea for morning tea? If we want to go into a pranic positive.
For example, if 11:30, if you have your breakfast, you want to have something. It's good to have some warm water and lime juice in it, and kulritnam prime tea, coriander, fennel, cumin seeds. Add 1 teaspoon of each. Add 300 ml of water and boil it until it reduces to 60 ml. Strain out the seeds and then you can drink it. Or amla juice, amla tea, green tea, or any herbal tea you can take.
Okay, so when we're talking about amla, that's Indian gooseberry tea.
Yeah, amla, it's an Indian gooseberry, which is rich in vitamin C. Nowadays, we are treating corona patients only with amla.
Okay. So lunch, what's a good pranic, positive pranic?
As I said, lunch should be rich in fiber, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, everything should be there. So, for example, as I said, no white is needed. So it should be always, rice should be brown in color, like brown rice. If you take one bowl of rice or millets, or take 1 bowl of millets or 2 chapatis or whole wheat chapatis, or with that 2 cups of vegetables, any colored vegetables, or 1 cup of dal within it. So if you eat this kind of fruits, so you are eating fruits, you are taking vegetables, you are taking unpolished rice, you are taking dal. So this too gives you a balanced diet. Your immune system will be strengthened, your vital energy will be increased if you take a complete lunch like this.
Which is what we want, right?
And green leafy vegetables, as I said, which really increases your vital energy, it's really needed. Those who got married, those who want to get fertile, like those who want to get pregnant soon, those who want to have a child, they need to eat green leafy vegetables weekly, twice or thrice.
Okay, great. And what about the afternoon? What sort of snacks?
Snacks, they can have a vegetable salad like that, or fruits, or chickpeas, mung beans, like lentils, or like sundal we used to call. That they can have with coconuts. Or they can eat coconuts also in the snacks for it. We used to have peanuts, coconuts like that for our snacks in my childhood. Or sesame seeds balls, sesame balls, coconut balls, like this kind of, still we are having like that.
And what about for dinner?
Dinner, you can have if you are okay with that, you can have a millet dosa, whole wheat flour dosa, like whole grains dosa, or chapatis like that. If you're taking brown bread, you can take brown bread with good amount of veggies with it in it, and dal curries you can have, like this kind of things, but with very light. Dinner should be very light. If somebody wants to take only fruits and vegetables, like, oh, I want to have only a boiled vegetables, they can have only boiled vegetables. Somebody wants to put only fruits, they can have very minimal fruits, because dinner should be very light.
Right. And you say also clear vegetable soups.
Clear vegetable soups. If they don't want to push heavy, they can have a clear vegetable soup as well.
Okay. So you also, so in terms of positive pranic life and food, why is meditation important?
Meditation is really very important, because at that time, your own emotions, your ego will not come into a play. When we meditate and sit, our soul will come up. So that is the truth of the life. That will tell you what you really want, and what. That is the only time your soul will come up, and that is the only time where you are spending time for yourself. Other time, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to other persons, I'm spending time, my mind is like what I need to convey to them, what I'm going to talk about Siddha medicine. Other times you also spend time, but what about spending time to ourselves? What about thinking of soul? How can the soul can be embraced? So that is the only time where the soul is connected to ourselves. Now the body is connected. Yeah. So that's why meditation is really important, because that is the time we realize who we really are. The more we meditate, we will realize who we really are. The more we realize, we will be happy without anything in our life.
So finally, before we finish, you had suggested to do an experiment to actually experience the difference, the pranic foods.
Please do this experiment. One day eat fruits, nuts, vegetables, everything. Try this. One day eat all kinds of spicy foods, try the day. One day eat all leftovers, most processed foods, try that day. Try that day and just let us know how do you feel. Then you will understand the beauty of the food, because what we eat describes who we really are. So make sure.
And then you said you can tell these three people immediately, the different people. So
it's like we are all mostly people are Rajogunas. Rajogunas people, we can educate them. Oh, you're Rajoguna. You can improve your life to Sattvic. There are chances. Rajogunas, all the people, because they have knowledge, they will understand, but they will forget. Rajogunas, they can increase their life to Sattvic. Rajogunas, when they don't follow, they will down to Sathuva, Tamogunas also. Tamogunas are the lowest things. But Tamogunas people, for some reasons, we can't change them. Just need to sprinkle water on them, let it go. Sometimes with Amma's grace, everything is going to be like, she can change, but generally I'm telling, they are energy vampires. It's better to stay away.
Okay, so put some seeds on.
We should not cook a large amount and freeze.
So just hang on. Let's just, before we have questions.
Yes.
If anybody, so that's the end of the talk. If anybody, we've got 15 minutes for questions. So if you can put them into the chat box, that would be great. And Dr. Janani is going to answer them. Great. Okay. And okay, so the first question is, can you cook a large amount of food and then freeze it?
No. Always freshly prepared food is really needed. Do not eat leftovers.
Why is that?
Because leftover foods really loses its energy. The food which is cooked and fresh can remain for certain hours, and after that, when you freeze also, it started to decompose. And if you freeze it, then you are artificially doing it, and then you recook it and then eat. It really has less beneficials than you eat fresh. Always freshly prepared foods are recommended. Okay. You should not cook large amount and freeze and then eat. It's really not recommended.
So the actual idea of cooking food, how long can you, after you've cooked it, how long can you
3
eat
hours.
It?
3 hours, yes.
Okay. Now the next question is, what is your point of view about the vegan diet compared to the Siddha vegetarian diet? Because in Siddha medicine you have ghee, you have yogurt, curd, cheeses.
It depends. Somebody will not have lactose tolerance. Some people do not tolerate milk, ghee, and it's okay not to take that, because their immune system, like their body is not able to digest them. It's good. Obey your body. Then don't take it. You can have soya milk for the replacement of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any more questions, or has any more questions? Okay. I think that's it. Oh, there we are. I eat small dinner and I get hungry. If I eat a small dinner, I get hungry at night. What do I do? If I eat at night, I wake up and I
You should have a good lunch. You should have a good snack in the evening. When you don't eat your lunch properly, when you don't eat your snack properly, obviously you will feel hungry. So eat a good lunch, full lunch. Have a good lunch, then you don't feel hungry.
And does it help if you have snacks in the afternoon? Or
yeah,
something,
snacks in
or
the
an
snack.
early
You can have a good snack, 6 p.m. good snack. After that, 7 p.m. you can have a mild dinner, and then if you go to, because after 7 p.m. it is not advisable to eat. What you eat, it stores as a fat. You need to give some rest to your digestive system after 7.
Okay. So I've heard potato and tomato are from nightshade family and not good for the body, and also eggplants. So they've heard that potato, tomato, and eggplant are not.
Potato or tomato, it doesn't mean that they are not good for the body. You can take, but it doesn't produce more. Like if you take lots of tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato salad, it do increases your pitta. But I'm not telling. You can take tomatoes in your diet, but not to a higher amount, but it doesn't produce a positive pranic, negative pranic. Same way, potatoes are very good. They do have some beneficials, but if you eat lots of potatoes, it produces lots of gas, lots of abdominal bloating and distension. So don't overeat it. You can take it. And also eggplant, many people will have allergy to the eggplant, mostly the Westerners. But here in Indians, they don't have some kind of allergy. Eggplant also has good beneficial effect. It reduces the kapha. But if you are allergic to it, should not take.
Okay. And what do you think about intermittent fasting?
Intermittent fasting is really a very good thing if somebody wants to lose weight. For example, if I'm eating my dinner by 6 p.m., then next day I'm starting my breakfast at 10 a.m. I'm doing some 12, 14 or 16 hours fasting, which is really needed because my carbohydrates, my glycogen storage will get depleted. Then my fat will get come into the metabolism. Then my stored up fat will get metabolized. So it is very good. If one is planning for lose weight, 16 hours of eating period and 16 hours of fasting period and remaining 8 hours, I thought it's an eating window. You can eat that time and you can fast at that time.
Okay, great. Okay. Would you please repeat the recipe of the brewed drink that is good for?
Coriander seeds, fennel seeds, cumin seeds. Take a teaspoon of all that and put it in a container. Add 300 ml of water. Boil it until it reduces to some 60 ml. Strain out all the seeds, filter it, and then take as a tea. You can mix it with honey.
Okay. And the next question is, this person does grocery shopping every few days and stores it in the fridge. And this is a commonly thing done by everybody. Does this mean that the vegetables and fruits that stay in the fridge? Just wait, I haven't finished it because
yes.
Does this mean the vegetables and fruit which stay in the fridge for a few days lowers their prana?
Yes, it lowers. That is the truth.
Right. So what do we do then?
We need to buy fresh. We need to have a farm around our house. We need to grow, but practically it's not possible. But to be frank, to be in truth, it does lowers your prana.
Great. Now you have a fan saying that they love you so much. And
oh,
every time...
thank you, Preeter sir. I love you so much. I really miss your talkings.
And that her heart feels very lightened up. Yeah. If anybody has any other questions for Dr. Janani, we're almost out of time. And thank you for the lovely messages. I'll save them for her. Oh, look, well, you're getting so much love.
Thank
today.
you, Minjing. Love you too.
Okay, I don't think there are any more questions. So if there are, this, as you know, it's a Green Shakti talk today, and Dr. Janani has generously given her time and her extraordinary wisdom, which she has shared. So this is by donation. So if you feel like giving, you can just go to the Green Shakti website. So I'm going to put that in the chat box, greenshakti.org. And because we're still in lockdown in India, which means that we're still needing to support green workers who work for Green Shakti. So planting trees, picking up rubbish, and doing anything. Planting, what do we get? Planting trees and recycling.
Soham Kali, welcome to the center again. It's our pleasure to receive you again, to welcome you again.
Yeah, people will be coming here soon.
Hi, Mabel dear. Love you. Ananda Marga ma'am, thank you so much. Love you.
Okay, so before the Love Fest, I'm just going to stop the recording. So I'm going to say thank you very much, Dr. Janani.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you for your patience. Thank you so much for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you want to